getting tidbits of information. As an MP, what do we know and what happened, and whether is the South African government equipping the resources that are required in Congo?
You're quite right to say we're getting tidbits of information, because the SANDF and the minister, and especially the president, they are not communicating with us. And the minister would have had an opportunity to explain in this committee hearing, facing the difficult, hard questions, what is actually happening. And it would have helped you, and it would have helped the public to understand what is going on. But as I was wanting to say, the minister doesn't want to come and account in front of the committee. She wants to create an environment for herself, and she called now an urgent, hastily called together press conference in Pretoria, where she can manipulate the information, where she can spin the story, instead of having to face the hard, serious questions that we as members of parliament have to ask of her. The president of the Economic Freedom Fighters, our commander-in-chief, Julius Malema, stated a year ago that the SANDF troops are not resourced, they are being sent to be killed in the DRC, they must be called back. For a year, myself and other members of the EFF have been calling for our troops to be called back. Go and listen to the statements that I made in the various portfolio committee meetings on defense and military veterans. The speech that I made on the 14th of November, when I said the SANDF is collapsing. Go and listen to all of that. The minister was fully pre-warned. The president were all of them fully pre-warned. And yet they allowed this disaster to unfold. So now, myself as a member of this portfolio committee has a duty to insist on behalf of the economic freedom fighters that our SANDF soldiers must be brought back immediately, that we must strengthen our ability to evacuate them. Goma is in the process of falling, if it's not fallen already.
From what you know, has that peacekeeping mission surrendered to the rebels?
Well, you see, again, we get bits and pieces of information. But overall, my impression is that our peacekeeping mission, the SANDF side, is giving in. It is falling apart. Sadly so, under pressure because of a lack of equipment. And I want to say that those soldiers are courageous. They have been sent there in the most horrible circumstances without the necessary resources. And we insist that their lives must now be saved. So when we condemn the minister and the president for the dereliction of action, in fact it is treasonous what they have done, at the same time we honor the soldiers who followed instructions. Soldiers are given instructions, they must follow it. There are soldiers who lost their lives. I spoke 2 days ago to the wife of one of those soldiers. She told me that on Monday, that was before the 23rd, when her husband died, he sent her a message. He said, "My dear wife, I'm being sent now into a very dangerous place at Sake. We do not have the right equipment. We cannot defend ourselves. If you don't get any further message from me again, know that I've perished. Please take care of my children." This is the personal sacrifice that had been made by those soldiers. And this is what condemns the President of the Republic of South Africa and the Minister of Defense and Military Veterans, because they knew exactly what they were doing. We told them, and yet they sent our soldiers in there to die. And now they run away from accountability. I hope the minister will in 6 days or 7 days' time come to the portfolio committee and represent herself. But I know that she is today trying to spin the story so that when she eventually comes to our committee, she can manipulate the story in order to try and protect and save herself. Because the only thing we have to do with here is that the elite in the African National Congress and the elite in the commanding corps of the SANDF are simply there to try and protect themselves, and they do not care for our soldiers. If they cared for them, they would have taken the right action on the basis of the warnings that we've given them long ago.
Thank you so much, Niehaus, EFF MP, of course, reiterating